Hey, Psycho Steve, guess what? Never will I ever give Raw a better grade than I do to SmackDown. And once again, never will I ever do it even today. This is Beyond the Shoot, and this is Back to School with SmackDown Live. No Kurt Angle, no Roman Reigns, no Bobby Lashley. We get Miz TV. A. Forget about the rest, this is an A. Let's just go on to NXT because I get an A. No, I give this a B+ because we don't see Kurt Angle. We don't see Paige. We don't see authority figures. We see Miz TV, the star of SmackDown, the star of Raw. I believe the star of World Wrestling Entertainment in general. His show will get high ratings. So as Miz TV, he does have the Bludgeon Brothers come in and he tries to push at them and say why did they attack Daniel Bryan? They should have attacked him even more. Daniel Bryan and Miz go back years as their feud. I'm surprised they haven't hinted at it, but I feel like they'll get there eventually. Of course, he calls him out. He's telling me, come on, just attack him more. He deserves it. His music hits. He comes out, and it's Daniel Bryan. He's not afraid of nobody. He wasn't afraid of Big Cass. He wasn't afraid of Kane at the time. Hint, hint. He wasn't afraid of anybody. So he calls him out. He says, I'll face either one of you tonight. Miz is like, well, I'll face you too. No, of course, Luke Harper gets the mic and says, I'll see you tonight. Good luck. The first match of the night, we have Xavier Woods, who in my opinion is the hottest wrestler on both brands, on all three brands, all four brands. What am I talking about? Hottest wrestler on all four brands. He keeps showing it week after week after week. I get why they put Kofi in the Money in the Bank, and I'm completely happy with that. But I would have been perfectly fine if Xavier Woods would have been there because he deserves it. And I feel like he has a little championship run in the future with either the US Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship, but we'll see about that. It's him versus Rusev. Once again, is he heel? Is he face? He played the heel, which I understand. There needs to be a heel face. He's facing the phenomenal AJ Styles. It just needs to happen. There isn't face versus face anymore. So he's going more towards the heel side, which is understandable. He plays both to perfection, and once again, he did it tonight. The match overall was great. Two of the hottest wrestlers on the roster going at it week after week. I'm surprised that they don't continue with this feud from back, Aiden English, Rusev versus the New Day. But I'm happy to see this match. I do give it a B+. Xavier Woods once again brought it. Rusev once again brought it. I feel like Xavier Woods is the person here that can get the pin, and he did get the pin. Rusev showed his strength. He did his Machka lock and tapped out. Xavier Woods will continue on to greatness, and this just shows that Rusev is a capable opponent for AJ Styles at Extreme Rules. Next up, we do have a couple of backstage segments. We have none other than Jeff Hardy, aka the new Deleter of Worlds, aka Brother Freaking Nero. He comes out with some new face paint, his mumbo jumbo, Matt Hardy, Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy, all together. I feel like that was great. I was ecstatic when I saw it last week. I've been waiting for Brother Nero to come out, and he finally came. The next segment was a little weird. It was, obviously they were plugging in the Netflix show Glow, which is about female wrestlers, and they're all different personalities. And lately they've been promoting it in different channels, and today they brought it to the WWE. It was Naomi and Lana bickering who was a better dancer. Mysteriously, Lana lost her accent. I don't know when, where, how, what happened, but she needed to drop it. She dropped it. Let's move on. Glow, they come in, they appreciate each other. They do a little funny shtick here and there. I'm not going to grade neither one. I just feel like it's important to know because it was part of the show, and we bring you every single details of the show, so these are the backstage segments. Next up, we have Jeff Hardy's Brother Nero's United States Open Challenge. It was supposed to be versus Shinsuke, but because a security dog bit him in the leg, he's out of action for a couple of weeks. We don't know how long. We don't know the extent of the dog bite. Don't get rabies. Please don't get rabies. So Jeff Hardy has to open his challenge to somebody else, and this feud will happen later. He says, who's going to fight me, and Sanity comes out. Me and Psycho Steve said it's going to be Eric Young because they have chemistry. They've wrestled each other plenty of times back at TNA. Are we allowed to say TNA? I think we're allowed to say TNA. Back at TNA. And they proved it in this match. I'm going to give this match a B. They know each other very well. Jeff Hardy looks rejuvenated with his character. It looks like his knee, his back is completely healed. He was moving to the pace that we saw him when he first came back. He was quick. We saw Eric Young do a botch. It wasn't Jeff Hardy, it was Eric Young. Jeff Hardy actually played it pretty well and continued the match. Like I said, I'm gonna give this a B. But we don't stop there. Of course, Sanity comes out and they're already on the side of the ring, so they attack. It's all three against Jeff Hardy. Usos come out. They don't just come out with their music hitting. They don't come out entrance where they come out like hard asses that they've been playing as face and as heels. They come through the crowd and they just straight attack. We know this is gonna set up a 6-man tag match, and that's exactly what happened. The typical 6-man tag match. But I'm okay with this one. I enjoy all these wrestlers. They all fit perfectly. I like the teaming of Usos and Jeff Hardy. It fit pretty well. Face paint versus face paint. That was cool. They get the win. I feel like, I personally feel like Sanity should have gotten the win because they just came back. And I just feel like they need it. Jeff Hardy's going to get the win because he is a U.S. champion. I feel like they're trying to push him to the top of the rope next to AJ Styles. They're trying to push that championship. The way Raw has the IC championship and it's basically the main title, SmackDown's kind of trying to do the same with the U.S. championship. And maybe later involving Shinsuke will do that. But with this match, I do give it a B. Usos brought it. Super Kick Party, Young Bucks, watch out. Super Kick Party, we had Whisper in the Wind from Jeff Hardy to win it. 1, 2, 3. They get the pinfall. Let's see what happens next week with all these superstars. Who has the hottest streak in WWE right now? Becky freaking Lynch. She's won 4 matches in a row. It may not be the hottest streak, but it's the hottest women's streak. She hasn't won a match like this continuously in a very long time. Even when she was women's champion, she still wasn't winning matches, if that makes any sense. She won again. It's her versus Sonya Deville. It was set up during an interview where she was being interviewed by Renee Young and saying how much she wants to win the championship, so on and so forth. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose came in, they little bickering back and forth, but sets up this match. The match was very well wrestled overall. I do give it a B. A lot of critics out there I saw gave it a C. I don't understand why. It was a very well wrestled match. Becky Lynch, phenomenal wrestler. Sonya Deville is coming up. She's turning her MMA background into actual wrestling. I'm not sure if Ronda Rousey coming in and stepping up the way she has stepped up Sonya Deville, but she's brought it. And it doesn't hurt seeing Mandy Rose on the side. But it was a great match. Becky Lynch does make her tap out. Kind of ironic to make the MMA fighter tap out. But she did tap out. 1, 2, 3. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville need to start picking up a little bit of wins here and there to kind of get momentum going. But Becky Lynch deserves this so much more, especially if she's going to come back and try to win this championship versus either Carmella or Asuka. Mr. Chinless Music is back. James Ellsworth. He comes out, he calls out Asuka. He says that Carmella deserved to win. He's better than Asuka. Everybody's better than Asuka. How he's good looking. How every woman wants to date him. His love life, so on and so forth. It was a funny segment. I'm going to grade this now and then tell you a little bit about it later, why I give it that grade. I'm going to give it a B. It brought that comedic relief back to SmackDown. He does it to perfection. He knows he's ugly. He knows he's a crappy wrestler. He can't wrestle. His name sold out seats in other promotions, and that's why WWE brought him back, in my opinion. But it brought him back for a good cause. Carmella needs that mouthpiece, even though she is a mouthpiece of her own. She needs that extra mouthpiece, that extra push to make her feel like a champion. So he comes out, like I said, he calls out Asuka, so on and so forth. Paige comes out, and she basically calls him out and says, you already know Asuka's not here. That's the only reason why you're calling her out. And he interrupts her and says, you want to date me? Why are you staring at me that way? And she says yes. Paige played it to perfection. Paige by far is the highest, most greatest improved in her character throughout the entire WWE, from management to wrestlers to referees to announcers. Percy Watkins takes some notes. She's the most developed. She did this to perfection. She played it along, and she tells James Ellsworth, yeah, you have a date next week. But I wouldn't call it a date, more of a match. Asuka versus James Ellsworth. I believe we haven't had a match with integrated, genders in a while. Maybe China? Beth Phoenix, I think, was the last one. That was a while back. That was about 6-7 years ago. Shout out to Beth Phoenix. And I feel like they need this. They need this with the new age. They need this with all the, LGBT, Special Olympics, all this stuff that's going on. I feel like it came at a perfect time. And I can't wait to see James Ellsworth get his butt kicked by Asuka. We have the main event up next of the night, which was announced on Miz TV, Bryan versus Luke Harper. This match was long, but very well wrestled. which is obvious coming from Daniel Bryan. Luke Harper brought it. Luke Harper is looking great. He's looking fit. He's lost a ton of weight, and his moves have improved tremendously. Him leaving the Wyatt family, him doing his own thing, and just rebooting his character once again is working out great for him. This match was awesome. I enjoyed the match. It was the ending that just made it perfect. I'm going to give the match a B. Let's give it a B. Let's put a B right here for the match. Cool? Let's take this B off. The end of the match, Bludgeon Brothers are attacking Daniel Bryan. Last week I told Psycho Steve, hey, who's going to be his partner? Will Miz kind of turn and team up with them? Who is he going to bring? I was curious. I never expected this, but they're beating down on him. The great red machine monster Kane. First thing that me and Psycho Steve said, Team Hell No is back. Kane comes down to the ring looking slimmer. I'm not sure if, this whole mayor run from Tennessee is making him lose some weight, but I hope he wins. He came out to a great pop. The same way Kofi Kingston got a pop at Money in the Bank, it was the same pop that Kane got. 2 surprise pops from the crowd, which I'm not surprised. Kane's been gone for a while. I think he has that John Cena treatment where he's a free agent and can go anywhere, because last time I remember, I think he was on Raw. He comes out and he just boom, boom, takes down the Bludgeon Brothers. Daniel Bryan gets up, takes them down, and chokes them, get out, make out of the ring. What does Kane do? He reaches out for a hug. He said, let's hug it out. The crowd goes ballistic. They start chanting, hug, yes. Daniel Bryan at first was hesitant, and the crowd just started, yes, 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 yes. He gives him a hug. Team Hell No is back. Paige comes out and announces championship match, Extreme Rules, the Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. Let's give them a victory. Psycho Steve, prediction show, it's coming. Let's play that game. Never will I ever. Never will I ever give SmackDown below a B- because I have not done that in the past 2-3 months. Raw, get away from my television. SmackDown, let's come on every night, except Wednesdays, because that's NXT's. But let's come on every night. This overall show, I do give a B+, and I'm giving it the extra plus for 4 reasons. No AJ Styles, no Samoa Joe, no Shinsuke Nakamura, and a backstage little 1-minute segment of Cien Almas. You're missing 4 main roster stars and you still put on a show this way? Kudos to backstage people. Kudos, I have to say this, to Vince McMahon. They brought it again on SmackDown. Now let's go to NXT. Those are my grades. Those are my opinions. Click on the eye above. Give me your grades. If you want to give Team Hell No a Team Extra A, give it an A. Once you do that, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe down below. Subscribe, people. This channel is freaking amazing. No knock on other channels. We've checked them out. We're better. Let's do this.